Shame. Shame. Shame.
I'm just getting things ramped up here. Just beginning to do a lot of my research right now. So the videos are pretty plain right now, but I just want to get started with information that I think is important. Stuff that we need to be thinking about as a community, as a culture, and because I really believe that we're on the precipice of being able to affect real change. So that being said, I'm going to get into the content, which is top 5 reasons why Dr. Umar has turned out to be a fraud, unfortunately. So, let me get out my little book. I like this little book. It's my dude. Alright. So, top 5 reasons Dr. Umar is a fraud. Name, right? So, he's Dr. Shoemaker. See, I have a problem when somebody has a name change. Like, not just like an AKA Dre Dog. You know what I'm saying? Not that. You know what I'm saying? When they have a complete opposite name. Like, my name is Jeffrey Ross, but now I'm Dr. Jacob Reinfeldt. I'm not really feeling that. So, he's got this whole, Jermaine Shoemake. Sounds reasonable, and then that goes to Dr. Umar, and Dr. Umar Johnson is sounds regal, sounds great, something that we obviously accepted, just face value because of the information and the history he has.
Right. They said power is the ability to do what? What is power? The ability to define reality and make the victims accept your definition. Like you believe you exist in freedom. What the hell is free about you? We're not free. Freedom is the ability to do exactly what white folks do, when they do it, and how they do it, economically and politically. Are you free to buy a home anywhere? Are you free to work wherever you want? Is your child free to go to school wherever you choose? You were never free. You were emancipated. Abraham Lincoln gave you an emancipation. But the 13 colonies declared independence. Why were the colonies independent, but Africans were emancipated? The word emancipation is a business concept that speaks to transfer of ownership.
Umar Johnson says real things. The brother is correct. So I agree with him so far. Shame TV's Watch, your host, Eric Jones. We're here this afternoon, excuse me, to go over the top 5 reasons Umar Johnson is a fraud. I'm going to throw out a disclaimer. This is just for fair use, educational purposes. A deeper look inside this brother Shoemaker, or is it Johnson, or is it, who really knows? But here at Shame TV Swats, we hope to find out today.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
But always remember, people, anyone who comes to do you harm, fraud, to injure you or damage you in any way, think back in your life and realize and notice how they never came to you saying that they're here to fraud you, lie to you, scam you, etc. Let us continue. You have to come.
White people have never stopped being who they were. We just stopped seeing them for what they were. And that is the weakness. White supremacy's number one victory is it does what? It convinces the victim that the oppressor has changed his ways. If you think white people have changed, I ask you one question. If you think our relationship to white people have changed, I ask you one question. What is the general power relationship between black people and white people, it hasn't changed one iota since slavery. Not at all. They are still in control of the institutions. They are still in control of the wealth. They are still in control of every aspect of society that black people need in order to survive. Stop reducing racism to individual white people. Stop defining racism as a negative attitude. Do you realize half the white racists in this country do not exercise negative attitudes towards black people in their face that black people need in order to survive? Stop reducing racism to individual white people. Stop defining racism as a negative attitude. Do you realize half the white racists in this country do not exercise negative attitudes towards black people in their face? They work with you. They smile at you. They even marry you.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
So much like the YouTube people that we're accustomed to, they come at black people in a way that I guess they want you to feel and to know that they're on your side. And they only do this because they generally have something to hide. Now, I'm not accusing Umar necessarily as of having something to hide. I'm just saying, as of right now, your story sounds extremely fishy, and I don't believe you.
But that being said, we accepted, that for face value instead of just kind of, doing our due diligence and looking a little bit more into it. So unfortunately, it looks like when we delve into his past, that the reality of things is that he is, he's got this whole separate name. Why? Next, the schools, right? One of his best ideas, one of the things that really tied me into the whole movement, because that's something that I have thought so much about. Me and my dudes have been really trying to put effort into making that a reality. So when I when I found out that that's what he was doing, I really kind of got into it. But I had my questions. And once I started seeing him say, things as facts that were largely, obviously, his opinions, I got a bad vibe from that. Because one of the things I always say is you can't always tell when people are lying to you, but you can often tell when people are being sincere.
And that goes to the crux of my whole issue with Umar Johnson is if you really had a school and a plan for a school, your curriculum should be posted. There should be no problem with you sharing that. If you are extracting funds from people to get a school, you should be open and transparent with that. And you definitely should provide evidence of your doctrine, being a doctor that you are. You should have no problem with providing your degrees. But I'll let the brother continue. I don't want to interrupt too much more.
Some people have gotten good at even being sincere when they're lying, Obama. But that being said, the schools. I want to see something happen with the schools, like some sort of a plan. Like if you got a school coming, there's a bunch of schools out here that have gone empty, and you could buy those schools, get in there, run them, figure out what it's like, what you need, as far as your staffing, as far as all overhead. Period. And you raise $250,000. Go and buy one of those schools, get it up and running, so you know exactly what it takes, and then move forward. this whole extravagant plan thing and trying to get 5 million. Just pay attention to that, people. I'm not selling nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not selling nothing. I don't want you to believe nothing. I'm just saying, as a smart person, this is what I found. Okay. Next thing, financial accountability. Okay. So we've been so good as to give him 300,000. At this point, probably more. And at 250,000, he's gonna call us some something ass black people. I forget what it was, but it was just it was disrespect for not giving him enough money.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
But that being said, we accepted that for face value instead of just kind of you know doing our due diligence and looking a little bit more into it. Something ass black people. I forget what it was, but it was just it was disrespect for not giving him enough money. And it wasn't really. You could see that it wasn't coming from a place of appreciation for that money. He said he was appreciative, but you could tell he was just like, I was trying to get more, man. These trifling ass, that's what it was. Trifling ass black people didn't give me enough. Another bad taste in my mouth. So and I know this is something that like information I'm late on. As far as the real close to the information people. This is something that I've known about for a while. It's just that I wasn't really interested in being one of those first people and possibly overstepping my bounds. I want to be careful about that. So I wanted to get my information together. I always get my research done before I do anything. So that's what I did, is make sure my research was done. So next is a plan to move forward. I want to see with this money that he's accruing, I want to see a plan. What schools he plans on buying, how he plans on staffing, who he plans on staffing, and what positions, classes he'll be teaching, the whole situation for having dorms that he plans on, saying they're going to stay with me. Dorms are a whole separate issue that I'd like to see some information on as to how he plans on getting that stuff done. Some practical ways that he plans on getting that stuff done. Because I can see right through him. I've started businesses, and I can see a man that's just trying to raise money, which is another red flag about this man, is that his stated occupation is fundraiser. Let that sink in. This is not even a part of the top 5, but I'm going to repeat it. Dr. Umar, Jermaine Shoemaker, whatever you want to call it, his stated occupation is fundraiser.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
So anyway, moving on to the number 5. I want to see total transparency overall. I want to see total transparency. I want to see total transparency from the beginning to the end, as far as financial accountability, as far as plans to move forward, as far as who you are. I want to see total transparency from the beginning to the end, as far as financial accountability, as far as plans to move forward, as far as who you are, as far as where you get your doctorate from.
And a lot of people were questioning his educational credentials.
Now, people ask me, what can we expect from a Donald Trump White House for Black America? And the answer is real simple. You can expect exactly what you got from a Obama White House.
It was amazing looking at this whole reaction. I mean, I'm sitting here, again, people asking all kind of questions. Things are blowing up. And so many people jumped on saying he's not a real doctor. Okay. Where did you graduate from, and you got your PhD?
My undergraduate education was from Millersville University. 3 degrees, political science, psychology, master's in school psychology. Subsequent to that, Pennsylvania certification as a school psychologist, which I've been for almost 20 years. After that, I got my educational leadership master's degree and principal certificate from Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And I earned my doctorate degree from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, American Psychological Association approved program, one of the top psychology training programs on the East Coast. 6 degrees in all, and anyone can lift up a telephone and call and verify those degrees.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
The shame bell only rings because it would have taken a second for you to actually state all the degrees you've earned whilst in front of Roland Martin, while the actual degrees were sitting right there in front of you.
Shame.
We'll continue.
Shame.
Top 5, but his state, I'm going to repeat it. Dr. Umar, Jermaine Shoemaker, whatever you want to call it, his stated occupation is fundraiser. So anyway, moving on to the number 5. I want to see total transparency overall. I want to see total transparency.
I agree.
I want to see total transparency from the beginning to the end, as far as financial accountability, as far as plans to move forward, as far as who you are, as far as where you get your doctorate from, where you get your facts from. You know, all of that before we continue to move forward and believe in something wholeheartedly that ain't true, because we've been doing a lot of that. And I think we're done with that. You know, believing it wholeheartedly in things we come to find out aren't true. Let's hold back and keep researching people and keep moving on with that positivity of trying to find out. So anyways, that's what I got for y'all today, people. I'm making the statement that, real talk, I'm offering $50,000 if within this week he could provide me plans and accountability for how he spent this money already, his plans for moving forward, paperwork to show it, and total transparency. I'll give him $50,000. So that's where it's at. Do me a favor, y'all. Like me if you like me. Share me if you like me, and if you appreciate the material, because I think this is information that needs to get out. All of that before we continue to move forward and believe in something wholeheartedly that ain't true, because we've been doing a lot of that. And I think we're done with that. You know, believing it wholeheartedly in things we come to find out aren't true. Let's hold back and keep researching people and keep moving on with that positivity of trying to find out. So anyways, that's what I got for y'all today, people. I'm making the statement that, real talk, I'm offering $50,000 if within this week he could provide me plans and accountability for how he spent this money already, his plans for moving forward, paperwork to show it, and total transparency. I'll give him $50,000.
Shame TV East Watch. This video was sent to me after I asked the question in the chat because I had heard rumor of it. And just taking it for face value, it appears that the brother is offering $50,000, Umar, just for transparency. Now, I don't want you to get off on your Umar Johnson rant and start talking about how the white man this and the black man that and the black man this and the white man that. If you got money from white people, if a white man right now wanted to donate 50,000, 100,000, 300,000 to your cause to make schools for black children or help you in your endeavor, all they needed was transparency for their book's sake, for their own conscience sake, as to make sure they're not being frauded by some scam artists because they're not giving you $50, they're giving you 50,000, or they're not giving you $100, they're giving you 100,000. So it's a difference. Should be addressed. But I'll leave you guys to it. You let me know what you think about the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And I'll be going live this evening, probably around 6 p.m., 7-ish. Where we'll address this video again and in depth. And don't think we've forgotten. The next up on the list, Umar, is your curriculum. Where is it? Like the brother said, where is it? We should know about it. Everyone should know what this is, especially people who are donating. They should already know.
Shame. Shame. Shame.